So I'm calling your show, 'cause I need to know. Show me which way to go before I throw my man out the door.
Okay, hold on a second, Keisha. Just let me ask Ronald exactly what's going on, because it takes two to tango, and I need to hear his side of the story.
So she's driving me insane, got stress heavy on my brain. She keeps playing silly games, man, I'm about to bring the pain. We seem to fuss and fight every day and every night. Please give some advice so we can see the light. See the light.
I'm Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. If your relationship is in trouble, I'm the dude to call. Has your soulmate become your cellmate? Does black love still exist? What are your bedroom turnoffs, fantasies, and fetishes? Financial infidelity. I'm dating a fat person. Are they worth the wait? Trust me, this gonna be crazy.
How about the heavy stuff? The child wasn't his, and he still had to pay child support.
It's a very heated topic.
How was that right?
Mama's baby, daddy's maybe.
I just have so many questions I want to ask you.
I just like to kiss a woman's ass. Is there something wrong with that?
I'm pregnant.
Betrayal has been committed. I hit you with a bad touch routine. How does he maintain his humposity?
He likes it when it pinches my lip.
Why can't you open up, brother?
I'm a karate man. Karate man on the inside. They don't show their weaknesses.
Yeah.
How do you rate women so well?
Zoe Williams.
Reason and accountability.
The voice of reason. Of reason. Of reason.
Ladies and gentlemen, the voice of reason has returned. I got an amazing topic today.
Aw, shoot.
Listen, if this is your first time tuning in to the voice of reason, please understand a little bit about how I get down. Number one, if you're not trying to learn, if you're not trying to grow, you in trouble. Because that's what this whole show is about. It's about growth. It's about learning. You under dig? And yes, amid all the jokes, right? Jeez, there is some learning.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
There is what I call some stretching.
Yeah. I'm
going to stretch you out. I'm going to stretch your beliefs out. Well, now, what's interesting, well, I could stretch you out in other ways.
Okay.
Queef. But let me just say, we up in here to challenge what you believe about relationships. And on Mondays and Fridays, the women come in. You guys came strong last show.
Yeah.
Last show, y'all stood up to the BS the men was saying.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it wasn't quite BS. It was quite 100% true what we were saying. But
No.
Oh, anyway.
That's questionable.
well, we do think you guys fared okay.
Oh, gee.
Not okay. Just
Okay.
okay.
We got a pass?
On the okay side of the game.
I mean, you guys still lost. You got beat up.
Right.
Well, I was going to lose to men.
Good. I'm glad you know your place.
I ain't said all that.
It's too late. Thank you. Thank you.
We're not going to lose to all men. We lost to that level of the game type of man.
Okay.
We don't just lose, because I don't just lose, baby. What? I'm a winner in this game.
I like it. I like
Watch
it.
out now.
Ladies and gentlemen, Zoe Williams, the voice of reason on Dash Talk X. I am surrounded by beauty. Every last one of these women in here are gorgeous, man. Mm-hmm. We got a newbie in the building.
Newbie.
You in the dig? She's on the Sagittarian side of the game.
Yeah, Dag.
Yeah, in the dig. My son's birthday is today. He turns 22. He's also sad.
Happy birthday.
He's awesome. Happy birthday.
Yeah, in the dig. That's my guy. I gotta support him on that. Lottie B in the building. Sagittarian energy.
Yeah.
She's going to be passionate. She's going to be argumentative. She's going to be a know-it-all once she gets comfortable.
Yep.
Takes a minute.
Yep, you're right.
You know, she's not going to have any tact.
Nope.
She's going to say shit. She's gonna blah, blah, blah.
Pretty much.
That's going to happen.
Probably tonight.
Then, of course, right next to her is one of the funniest witches I know. She's like the thug Samantha Stevens.
Not Samantha Stevens.
I like that.
Oh, shoot.
I can even winkle my nose.
Winkle? Yeah, that's not even a word.
It is for me.
Okay,
Winkle.
cool. Winkle. Okay, cool.
Not crinkle. Winkle.
Peaches is in the building.
Meow.
Her real name is Donnie Keith. She's a comedian. She's a actress. But so is Lottie B. I keep forgetting you guys are like in the same little guild.
But everybody's journey's different in the art form, so.
You guys should start a guild called Funny Bitches of America.
That's
You know
dope.
what?
That's dope.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well,
See.
don't let a man create it for you. And then, right next to Peaches, a.k.a. Donnie Keith. Fucking Pisces.
In the house.
You already know what it is. It's Mimi. Keeping it real with Mimi. Thursdays, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Accelerated Radio. She has her own show.
Whoa, whoa.
What it do, though?
On the cuteness side of the game.
Thank you. Hey, y'all.
Look how he looking at you like he's
sorry.
I
hungry.
know. Everything.
Are you hungry?
Hey, and Glenna the Good
Thirsty.
Witch is showing up today, too.
Yes.
Now, before I get into today's topic, it's important that I promote a couple of things. Total Package Energy, number one. They have fully restocked their warehouses.
Awesome.
All right, now.
So they got the orders. Go to Total Package Energy. No carbs, no sugars, no jitters, no crash. TotalPackageEnergy.com. Over there, own business. They doing big things. Let's move 400 cases.
Yes.
All right, and then also the relationship dismount, how to stick the landing when exiting a toxic relationship. My 2015 release on relationship.
Right. The one Speedy tried to steal the other day.
Speedy did,
Speedy.
Speedy did
He
try to
did.
steal the book. For Speedy, stealing for it and not accepting no for an answer.
And taking it.
Yes, that's Speedy. But I don't have a copy for him. But you can get yours at Amazon.com, paperback and digital version. Or if you have the iPhone, you can get it on iBooks. Also, man, if y'all don't wake up to the holographic relationship, February 19th or February 2019 is the official release date of that book. I've been working on it for nearly 4 years.
Wow.
It's been that. Yes.
That's right.
Wow.
Relationship started working on it.
That's a
So
time goes by so fast and slow.
Right. All at the same time.
Right.
this shit about to be lit though.
Right. That's what I was thinking. In 4 years, it's going to be lit.
Go to my website, IamZoeWilliams.com, and pre-order your copy now.
Right now.
All right. Ladies, are you guys ready for a real conversation on the Voice of Reason on Dash Talk X?
Oh, yeah.
Now, you already know my rules. What are the rules, Peaches?
Some but no.
What does some banal mean, Peaches?
Some but not all.
I say some shit like, women be out here tripping.
And I could say, yeah, them bitches do, but not all of them. Not for real.
No, what normally happens is, not all women be tripping because my cousin be Listen, we don't need to do that because we already have a rule in place.
Okay.
Some,
But no.
So everything we mention here speaks in generalities. There are no absolutes. There's no way I could possibly know every single ratchet bitch. I could know every woman.
Right.
Okay? So, some banal. What are
All right.
the other rules? Why am I going to Peaches? Because
I'm the rule breaker.
She is the rule breaker. So go ahead. What are the other rules, Peaches?
Let Johnny say what she want to say. And
That
don't
is
be
not
tripping.
a rule. That is not a rule. That is not a fucking rule. Okay?
You came to me. You know I'm going to be disrespectful to the rule.
Oh,
I'm just saying.
so what are the other rules, Peaches? Please help us.
Okay. Don't talk over each other.
Especially me.
Especially Zoe. And I think that was it, right? Oh, there's one more. Don't be too long-winded.
Hey.
Why you gotta say hey at that part? Look at me all harsh.
You know why?
Why? Because my stories are too long.
Exactly.
But my stories have points to them.
No, they don't. See, my grandmama used to use white
Let me
pepper.
tell you this story by telling a story.
My grandmama used white pepper for everything.
White pepper is
Her
good.
husband was cheating. She put white pepper on him, and he stopped. What?
She put white pepper in his balls.
See what I'm saying?
Pepper in his balls.
In his pee hole.
Are there?
No. If
Are you
you
sure?
must. Okay, I must have forgot one.
I mean, or several.
Okay.
There's
Enlighten.
Talk at the same time,
Right.
or talking over each other, cross talking. What else?
I already said some, but all. My stories be too long.
Yeah. Brevity.
What's the other story?
Let the callers speak without interrupting them.
Some and all.
Yes.
That was pretty much it, right?
Yes. And then also, if you're having a difficult time watching on YouTube,
Yes. Please go X.com or download Zoe Williams
first
app.
off, him.
Okay, what?
Did you just get
I
out?
know. I was like,
X.com.
No.
No.
What is it?
-radio.com.
I thought it was Dash Talk X now.
Well, that's the channel we're on.
See, you got me fucking. Don't come to me. You don't want to know a lot.
Go to Dash. Listen. For our Dash Radio listeners, if you're wondering what we're talking about, is I broadcast live directly to my YouTube channel. We have 42,000 subscribers and over 7.1 million views.
Ah.
You under dig?
Underdog.
Thank
We
y'all.
do over there.
Thank you.
So, if you want to see the show live, all you have to do is go to youtube.com/The Zoe What Show. Now, sometimes we have a little technical difficulty, a little Wi-Fi issue, Tri-Fi. It's all good.
Try-fi.
But if you're having difficulty, all you have to do is open up another browser and go to dashradio.com, search Dash Talk X, and then you'll be there. You can hear perfect audio directly from Dash Radio.
Right.
Are y'all ready to get busy?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I got to bring these kind of conversations to women because y'all some smart motherfuckers.
And you know this.
Man.
But y'all be lying.
No.
Not to you.
Yeah, you do.
No, no.
You motherfuckers lie to me every week.
Stretching the truth.
I don't.
All right. Well, what?
I do.
I don't.
Okay, cool. Here we go. Today's topic The phone lines. Hopefully the phone line is cracking today. The number to dial is 323-230-4610. That's 323-230-4610. Today's topic. Relationship discord ownership. AKA claim versus blame. How come you motherfuckers always blaming instead of claiming? The bullshit you're experiencing. You knew the nigga was from day one.
Shit.
You a baby mama because you chose to be. I mean, if you fuck a broke nigga, the probability of you being a baby mama is quite high.
Broke baby mama.
Here we go. I got questions.
Oh, watch
You all
out
right?
now. You good?
That just sorry. Oh my God, a broke baby mama. Relationship discord ownership. We've got questions. Is a victim mentality something we are born with, or is it something that we learn, that we pick up?
Interesting.
Who played the victim role more in your upbringing? Your father or your mother? The number to dial is 323-230-4610.
Good.
What is blame shifting? Oh, man, I got questions. The number to dial is 323-230-4610. Blame versus claim. What does it mean to think like a victim or to have a victimhood mentality? What does that mean? Partner, everything is your fucking fault. Gosh. I don't know. Ladies,
Yes.
What
are
is
you
it?
more of a claimer for your love life?
Okay.
Yep.
That big. That big back snapping.
Snap it up.
No, but I'm definitely a claimer, okay? I am a claimer
I knew you was
because,
gonna say that shit.
but I mean, I'm being honest with you. Now, there was a time in my life where I wasn't a claimer. But in my 30s, I became a claimer because I got married. And you have to own up to some real shit if you make that type of commitment with somebody. If you real about your shit.
That's some bullshit.
No, I really was a claimer. I mean, I worked in a barbershop. And my life has been an open book for and to hide from a man, you know? So I've always been a claimer. Daddy, I was a blamer.
Okay, let me stop you.
He just don't believe shit I say.
I just don't. It's so fancy.
That's because I'm a Scorpio, and you just can't believe that I'm that evolved.
Scorpio is about secrets. It's
And
the
it's
sign of secrets.
It's also about rebirth, destruction. That part out.
So wait a minute. You want to come for me? You want to come for me?
She in astrology Bible right now.
You want to come? You want to come
Yeah,
for
I'm
the
a
teacher?
phoenix swimming, flying around this motherfucker right now.
So Peaches,
Yeah.
why you always start at the end and never at the beginning?
Maybe I like
Motherfucker.
rebirthing myself.
Bring your
No, it's time to burn it up and start over.
But I want to understand,
That's
like,
real.
the process, how you became a claimer. Just start
A claimer.
there.
I had to come to a point where I looked at myself real hard when I got married, at the point when I was ready to get divorced. This is what changed me, because I realize this situation can become more toxic, so somebody has to stop it. And once I stopped that cycle by leaving marriage, I knew that from now on to be 100% direct with the men in my life. And I had to learn that through marriage, unfortunately.
So marriage taught you that?
Yes, it did.
Marriage or relationship? Let's just be clear.
Marriage taught me that.
You know,
Relationships did.
Fantasy about marriage, like it's some kind of
relationship
miracle box.
I can honestly say I've learned something from every relationship different. With my son, Dad, I learned about fear and how love and fear don't go together. And I had to lie to him because he was a psychopath. With my ex-husband, I realized I didn't have to lie to him because he wasn't a psychopath.
Really?
Yeah.
Or you could leave.
Well, I mean, I was married. I was trying to figure out what my marriage was different. With my son's father, I did leave.
Okay.
Yeah, that was old news. But with the ex-husband, he did. We just came to a point where he realized he didn't want to be married, and I didn't like the way he parented his children. So it was always going to be a problem.
You was judging the way he was parenting his
judging
kids?
like a motherfucker. Call me Judge Judy around that bitch. I was Maybelline. So I had to learn that through that marriage.
I was Maybelline.
Maybelline.
This motherfucker's stupid as hell. So right now you're telling me you've evolved. Before I even get that,
if y'all can see the cynical look on this Negro face.
Because I know you on that bullshit. Okay, cool. Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to the voice of reason, the VOR with the superstar, Zoe Williams. You know how I get down, Dash Radio. Tonight's topic, blame versus claim. And we're talking about claiming ownership, relationship discord. It's really easy to blame your partner for why you're disgruntled.
Right.
Mm-hmm. He's the problem. Why are men always the goddamn problem?
Because men are always the problem.
It's not true. You know you motherfuckers are entitled, spoiled.
It's easier
you know
to
that
blame.
too. If we both know this, then why is there a problem?
Because you don't get to be spoiled around me. You have to be a grown-up. If relationship is not growing you up, you're misusing the vehicle.
Yeah.
You didn't like that? How does that
No,
sit
I
in
don't
your
like
spirit?
that. I like to be spoiled in a relationship. I'm like, I hope he... No, don't listen to that.
Wow. Here we go. Let me ask a couple of questions
she honest.
and bring in the homegirl, Glenna the Good Witch.
In the house.
Dr. Glenna.
And that traffic.
Doctor.
Sweet 8-pound baby Jesus.
You feel me? But you made it.
But I made it.
You know what it is? Watch. Y'all gonna trip because Glenna's gonna be on my side.
Glenna, please.
She always winds up on my side. You know why? Because I make impeccable sense.
Yes, okay.
I don't always be on your side.
Thank you.
90% of the time you be like, ain't cause what Zoe just said.
I don't know what he had today.
This is a setup right here.
I'm just saying. Today's topic, the relationship discord ownership show. A more in-depth look at relationship blame versus claim. What does that mean? Everything that goes wrong in this motherfucker is my fault. We know what blame shifting is. I'm going to throw that to Glenna in a second. She's going to tell us what blame shifting is. And as I say, most times I think women do more of that than men. I think women are the chief sandpaper. I think men are rocks, women are sandpaper in relationship.
I think men are wood, and I think women are sandpaper.
I am wood.
And wood needs to be sanded so it's not rough.
Don't ever sand my wood.
Grainy. It needs to be smooth.
Phil is like, what the?
Smoothed out.
You never worked with wood, I see, Phil.
Gotta buff it out.
I mean, he's worked with his own wood. Mind your business.
Uh-oh.
Jesus. It's a man's job to pay attention to his own wood.
I was about the real wood.
Yeah, that's the wood he talking about. He knew my metaphor.
All right, I got questions. Right? Is a victimhood mentality something we are born with, or is it something that we learn? Which parent? Because I'm sorry. I know. Look, Glenna, why are you shaking your head already?
Because I already know what you're going with
You
this.
already know.
Okay, I won't go there first.
Okay, first.
What does it mean to think like a victim or to have a victimhood mentality?
You asking me?
Yes, I'm asking Glenna the good one.
Okay. Thinking like a victim is just what it sounds like, where nothing is ever your fault. Everything is happening to you. It has to do with the person's what we call a locus of control. So people with a higher of control, they feel like they have more control over their circumstances, like the whole "I am the captain of my soul" type mentality. Whereas people with a lower locus of control, they feel like things just happen. Like, oh, I just lost my job. Like, no, you got fired for poor performance. You know, you gotta take ownership. So victimhood, I mean, it has to do with typically with the person's locus of control.
Say more about the locus of control. For the average listener who just tuned in, they might think you're talking about eating insects. Tell us.
Oh my God.
They might not know.
It is. It's like an internal driver that makes you feel like, you know what, I can make this happen. Like if I decide I want to do something, it's going to happen. Or again, like if I got laid off, it's being able to say, you know what, I can take responsibility for my actions. I didn't do this, and this, and for that reason, I did not meet the criteria, and I lost my job as a result. So it's being able to say that you have some say in what happens to you versus when you don't, then everything, literally, it happens to me. They did this to me. They took this away from me. They not helping me out. What? Like, no. It's a lower level of responsibility, a lower sense of responsibility.
Right.
Damn it. What are the top 3 statements the chronic victim in your relationship would say? I'm going to save you for the end of this. Mimi, what are the top 3 statements the chronic victim in your relationship would say to you?
Why does this always happen to me?
Woo! Here we go.
That's number 1. You always do this to me. And nobody believes in me. Everybody always gives me the shorter end of the stick. Everything's always about what someone's doing to them.
From the outside in, huh?
Right. It's all their fault.
Damn.
You know, they all said this about me, but it's all their fault. You know?
God damn. Peaches?
Well,
and don't use a remix variation of what Mimi just said, punk. I know y'all friends.
okay, well, the blame shifter in my family said Donnie did it. It was Donnie's fault. Donnie stole it. That's what I grew up hearing. It was always my fault.
Wow.
It's not my fault.
There's supposed to be 3 of them. Did you lose count?
No, that was all 3. Donnie did it. Donnie stole it. And it's Donnie's fault.
Let me ask you a quick question. Were you good at stealing?
Very.
Okay, cool. You did steal it. Let's move on.
But better thieves in my family.
Let's move on quite swiftly.
Okay.
This thieving ass nigga.
Y'all a mess. Y'all a mess.
5 fingers.
Come on, Lottie B.
Okay. What's the question?
You wasn't listening?
No, I was listening.
That's cool. So you want me to come back to you?
Okay.
Over here fucking up. Okay, cool. Glenna the Good Witch. The top 3
things that victims say.
Right.
Well, Mimi said one of the biggest ones is why is this always happening to me? That's one of the biggest ones. I mean, you can't get around that. Right. Another thing that a victim says is it's not my fault. Because it's never the victim's fault.
Yeah. Did I do that?
It ain't my fault.
Did I do that?
Wait, they won't even finish the song. They won't even say, did I do that? Because they're not taking no responsibility.
And he didn't.
Right. That part.
And a third thing is it's your fault.
Wow.
Like the victim will always find a way to like put it back on somebody else.
Oh yeah.
Wow. That's ugly. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Yes.
3.
3 things.
Yep.
I don't have enough money.
Wow.
I can't get no more money.
Wow.
And my mama don't got no more money.
That was like one thing said 3 different ways. Okay, cool. Fuck it then.
Nigga need some money. I'm gonna pat him down. Where that bread at?
This is what I'm really interested to hear, because you guys are all women. And women, you guys, grab that caller. We might action. You guys are very keen on certain things, and I want to get your perspective. Okay. What does a female victim, and I'm talking about not somebody who was abused or somebody who was disrespected, but someone who always plays the victim card. What does that female do? Because there are men out here, right, who would like to be able to identify this bitch early on.
Right.
Right. Phil.
Okay.
Would you like to know who she is before the shit started? Okay, cool. So we want to know, what are some of the traits, right, of a blame shifter in female form? If y'all don't tell me the motherfucking truth, you know I'm finna come at you.
Okay.
Right.
A blame shifter in the female form. It's that first phone call you have with that first female that female you just gave her your number, and she's calling you. Ooh, I'm hungry. What you doing? I'm hungry. Oh, I was supposed to go pay this bill. Dang. I mean, there's all kind of ways she gonna come at you, and the sucker gonna say, "Well, I'm not doing nothing right now. I was gonna come and take you to pay that bill. In fact, I'm gonna dig in my pocket to pay it for you." There's all kind of ways, and
that
then
sounds
after
like
you,
a manipulator, like a user.
and then after you pay that bill, when her cable get cut off and she only paid part of it because she took half that money and stuck it in her pocket and paid half her bill with your money, she gonna say it's your fault her shit got cut off. So
Or I can tell you.
That's interesting. That was.
I would tell you too, someone that is like that is a person that. Okay, wait. This is for just a guy, right? Just to give you, so you could see her. A woman that always talks about what she want to do, what she should be doing, but she ain't doing shit. But she's like, I would be doing this, but it's always someone else's fault. She's not achieving her goals for everyone else's fault besides her own.
Blaming the dude for the baby.
Oh.
See, because y'all bullshitting me. Y'all not coming with the concrete shit here. What about blaming the dude for getting her pregnant?
Because he did.
See? look, don't look sideways.
They both got pregnant. You both got pregnant.
She's responsible for her body. So I mean, of course, if nature just made it happen after she used her pill and did her precautions, but if she going bareback and ain't taking no pill, then it's everybody's fault. We all took part in the party.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Even if it was a swinger event, you took part in the party. Though,
you guys all hurt my feelings because you always bring us back in it. I'm just talking about your part of it.
So, for the people that do that, right?
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, I don't necessarily do that, but I mean, there's people that do it. You know, they blame a man for everything. I mean, some people can't take responsibility for anything, so they blame their man for every single thing that happens in their life, including making them pregnant. You know what I'm saying? So, because they play the blame game.
Because he was supposed to pull out.
And he knew better. He knew she wasn't taking a pill right now. She told him. She told him. And he should have pulled it out.
Okay. Guess what, Dr. Glenna? Guess whose side you're on?
About to opt out.
Tell him the truth, Dr. G.
The truth about what?
You know exactly. She done said too much bullshit right next to you.
Oh, me?
Yes.
I'm
Lottie B has said too much bullshit for you not to address it.
I mean, you know, the obvious. obvious answer is, if you're not trying not to get pregnant, you're trying to get pregnant. It's no gray area. So if you're not actively preventing pregnancy, you are actively trying to get pregnant. So if you are having unprotected sex and you leave it up to chance, everybody know pre-cum will get you pregnant. Don't leave it up to, he's going to pull out or blah, blah, blah. So many pills, patches, shots, IUDs, and all kind of other stuff in the world, including the morning after pill. So you got to take responsibility for your own body. Again, if you don't want to be pregnant, especially by this person that you're actively preventing.
Just feel it real quick.
Pregnant. I think my throat is pregnant. No,
my God.
Pre-cum is a sexual salad dressing.
Right. Talking about let me put it in for a minute. And again,
right. Ain't put it in for a minute.
Let me put it in for a minute, baby.
I'm falling for that.
And you got to take responsibility for your actions, for your own body. You want to be pregnant by somebody, don't allow yourself to be in a position to get pregnant by somebody.
When it comes to relationship manipulation, when it comes to relationship blame gaming, which gender is most apt to play the gray area? Men or women? Dr. G?
Don't ask me that. Dudes. Now, you know me. There's no absolutes in human behavior. There's no absolutes in human behavior. So we can find outliers. We can do some, but not all. We can do all of that.
Sure.
But, in terms of gray area, you could ask women and they'll be like, well, I tried to talk to this dude and I tried to get a straight up answer and he stopped answering the phone or he stopped whatever. So in that scenario, it's guys. And then there's women that they're trying to get their needs met. And so they go about it in a way that is manipulative. So in that scenario, it's women.
Oh, God, that was beautiful, the way you brought up a couple of scenarios that, highlighted what men do versus what women do. And in a funny way, it kind of answered my question, but not really. Because we know women play the margins.
Yeah.
You play the margins with your friends. You play the margins with your dating. Your relationships are far more complicated than our relationship with you.
Yes, that's very true.
You know this to be true.
Yeah.
I will come back to you. Because y'all be out here bullshit. I be trying to get y'all to tell the truth so men can be prepared to deal with the hurricane that is a woman. Now, gray area is a safe for women.
Right.
You were taught how to do it by your mama. Whose mama taught you how to flirt to convert? Don't give it up. Don't you give it up. But bat an eye. Be sweet. Be nice. You get more with honey than... I'm just saying, men are not raised like this.
My mother didn't quite use those words.
What'd she say? Get that dick?
No, that's what she did say to me. If anything, she was money.
Whoa.
It was always about money with her, but she had a hustler, con artist mentality. So it was always about get what you can. If that nigga ain't spending no money, what the hell you out with him for? That nigga broke. He on a skateboard. You couldn't even go out with nobody on a skateboard.
Let me finish. Let me throw it back to you with this question.
Mm-hmm.
How many women have mastered the art of getting something from a nigga without giving up anything? Other than time.
I don't even give up time.
I think we got I in here. I think that's something we learn at a young age.
So what do you mean when I ask the question, Dr. G, about gray area mastery?
What are you getting at?
I'm saying women are ideologically exposed to being a victim. And playing the gray area allows them access to victimhood.
That's not a victim.
What?
That's not playing the victim.
What?
Playing the victim is when someone what Mimi and the doctor said. It's you that did this to me. I can't get ahead because of you. That's playing a victim.
How about it?
But when you're playing a gray area, it's a little bit different because
listen,
I'm hungry. Those are French fries. Give me some.
No, that's manipulation. In order to be a victim, you have to have an out.
Okay.
There must be an excuse.
Okay.
Right or wrong, Doc?
An excuse as to why something didn't happen in the way that you wanted it to happen?
Exactly.
Oh, because of this happened. I couldn't do that because of this. Okay, so I don't see... I'm not following you in terms of how that matches up with the gray area, though.
Yeah, me.
I'm saying men are typically black and white. To a fault. Of course, black and white thinking is terrible, but men are pretty fucking simple.
Not really. Men play the gray area so much.
Give
Because
me an example. I'd like to see it.
Give you an example?
Of men playing the gray area.
How about they always say, you never asked if I was married.
Why
didn't you ask me? That's gray as hell. Dark gray.
That's
going blue.
Charcoal.
That's charcoal.
Right. Right.
That's damn near black.
Right.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Real talk.
Well, I won't give that one away.
We probably know it already.
No, you don't. I like that though.
Barbershop, I know it.
No, you don't.
Barbershop, I know it. Too many secrets.
No, but I think women. There are some, like you said, outliers, but I think women are socialized to do it. Men are not really socialized to be that way.
I have to disagree with that.
Women.
Because men are taught manipulation at an early age, too.
Really?
Yes.
Did you teach your son manipulation?
No, but I'm sure his father did.
Oh, so you don't know. Okay, cool.
His daddy was a manipulator. I'm sure he learned some things from him. He's just not, because I taught him not to be that way.
You see how this goes?
Yes, men have been brought into it.
You're just going to assume that his daddy did that? How do you know?
They call his daddy Shorty Mac. By at a very age.
You had a child by him?
Yes, young age. Straight out of high school. Stupid as hell.
Young chicken.
Okay?
You was a young chicken?
You know what?
You don't
I was more like...
when you a young chicken.
No, not the chicken. I wasn't quite the chicken. I was a fly girl, okay? I was, if anything, I was hatching chickens around that motherfucker.
Okay, we've had enough of Donnie for now.
Cut off
You're on the line. Here it is. Caller. What's your name and where you calling from? Speak on it. Welcome to the Voice of Reason. Caller.
Tuscaloosa area.
Who is this? Darnell from Tuscaloosa?
Yes, sir.
What's happening, man? Speak on it, brother.
What up, what up? Yeah, I want to speak in generality because I don't want to just get on the women. I'm going to speak on both sides, people that play the victim.
Make it quick.
Yeah, I figure the best way to figure out people that play the victim, you watch who they follow. Most people that play the victim, they're going that justify they being that way. They're not going to really hang around people that question them, they thoughts. They're not going to hang around people that challenge their thoughts. They just going to stick around people that accept their lives, basically. So that to me, that's the best way you figure out somebody that's have a victim mentality.
Interesting.
Interesting, Darnell.
I'll take that, Darnell. Thanks for the call, man. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Darnell.
All right, y'all be good.
Caller, you're on the line.
My name is Dana, and I'm calling from Pasadena.
Hey, Dana.
Dana from Dina.
Hey, guys.
What up, baby girl?
Hey. Not much. I just want to shout out Lottie and let her know that she was great on the Rollout Show today.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Thank you, love.
I want to give you guys also the opportunity to wish me a happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Sag in the building.
Thank you.
You and my son. Yeah, you and my son. They got the same birthday. All right then, girl. Happy birthday.
No.
Happy birthday.
Like that.
All right then, so get to it.
All right. Go ahead and give me the topic again.
Oh, shit.
I've been listening, but I've been listening.
Who does more claiming?
Oh, I think women do more blaming.
Exactly. Somebody with some sense.
We do more blaming and you know, so we try to get caught up like it was his fault and I didn't want to do it and you knew I was a virgin, that type of stuff. But I know we don't take full responsibility. Tell us what we want to hear and, you know, play to our behavior. So we're both to blame, really.
Mm-hmm. We love Dana here. The Sagittarius side of the game. I needed you to come in here and tell the truth.
Oh.
No, I am telling the truth, and I believe that, you know, we all just get a little caught up in ourselves, blame someone else because we don't want to take responsibility for our actions. If we wouldn't put ourselves out there, then there would be, you know, nothing to claim. Men wouldn't fall for it. They'd have to fall for something else. So we're all to blame.
Let me ask you a question, Dana.
Blame. Yes.
Let me ask you a question, Dana. Who's the more accountable?
Ooh, probably males.
Or female?
Women aren't. We're not accountable.
The more accountable?
Accountable. Personally accountable.
Women.
Men, women aren't.
The phone lines are open. 230-4610.
Run.
I disagree.
Hello?
Yes, we right here. We listening.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that. No, I would say men are more accountable.
No, girl. You said men are more accountable?
That's what she said.
Honey.
Yes.
Accountable?
No, Lottie.
Huh?
Let me go on and tell this. Let me go on and tell the truth. It's men, it's not women. When are we accountable? And what are we accountable for?
What are we accountable for?
That's what she said.
Well, I mean, you don't need to repeat what I said, but
most women that it's okay, Dana. She's a Sag. I can handle it. I'm not worried with that. It doesn't matter.
You know, you can be under the impression that you can, but
and don't worry. But most women versus men who give their word, women hold their word, I would say, more times than men do.
Women do what?
Completely, yes.
Women?
Yes.
Wait a minute.
Men might tell more lies, but women tell the biggest lies.
This is your child.
No, women. I think that men tell bigger lies that are detrimental. I think women do tell small lies, but I think men will tell more detrimental lies than a woman will.
Wait a minute. Small lies meaning that this is your child opposed to the
I cheated
next door neighbor's child?
I mean, that's so many men saying, "Hey, that's not my baby." That's the same exact thing. Every example you can give me, Dana, I could give you one right back.
Because he's not giving birth to a child. So,
He's still saying it's not his baby. But he know he was with her. He knew that
He's saying it's not his baby, but a woman saying that this is your baby and knowing that it's not your baby.
How did she know? Did she just boo-boo me? How did she boo-boo
know?
Did she boo-boo me?
Hold on, Sag. Wait, hold on.
We are sad.
Yes,
we are.
I can't have you guys. Come on.
Go ahead.
Just let her finish. Go ahead, finish, baby.
Lottie, we are sad sisters. I'm going to let you have this, but I'm also let Zoe school you.
Ooh.
Have a good evening.
Whoa.
She's also what? My headphones are going out.
She said have a good evening.
She said she gonna let me school you.
Oh, you gonna school me? Okay. Happy birthday, Dana.
And guess who?
Go ahead. I'm here. I signed up. I got my pencil and my pad. I signed up for school.
And guess who gonna have my back?
Don't look at me.
Dr. G, you heard it. You heard it for yourself. There's an example of it right there.
I heard some examples. I will say, in the example that she gave in the this ain't your child or this is your child, like that's one of the biggest, not taking responsibility for your actions, not owning up to the that's one of the biggest ones that you hear. But on the flip side of that, that ain't my baby, a dude saying that ain't my baby is also one of the biggest ones. Even though when you know in your heart of hearts, you know she ain't been, it ain't no question. But you know me, I've said it. There's no absolutes in human. I mean, we're looking at a type of person. You're looking at a type of person that shirks responsibility, whether it's male or female. It's a type of person, because it's a different type of person, because for every woman that says this ain't your baby and it really is, or vice versa, you know, there's another woman that's going to be like, check it out, it's between you and somebody else. I'm about 4 months right now. I won't know until the date. There's another woman that'll own up. And for every man that says like, that ain't my child, and knowing there's another man that I've seen it, that'll be like, yo, I don't even know if it's mine or not, but I grew up without a father, so I'm gonna jump in and I'm gonna raise this kid.
Exactly.
So it's a type of person.
I agree.
But if I'm not mistaken, that sounds like balance, and I don't think it's that balanced.
It depends on who. I think it depends on the type of person that you're talking to. A type of person that takes responsibility all the way around.
I just had to say
I'm
that.
just saying. Oh gosh, I agree with Dr. G, but I don't agree with the numbers.
Yeah, I could tell by your facial expression.
Because the way Dr. G broke it down is like, for every one of these, there's one of those.
You know what?
And hell no, it is not balanced like that. It's not 50-50.
Well, we don't know the stats. Yeah, I mean, but you get what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, like, we can always find, you know, there's some of this and then there's some of that. But ultimately, there's a type of it's a type of person that get up and go to work and go to a job that they hate. But it's like, you know what? I got to take responsibility. If this is what pay my bills, then so be it. And it's another type of person that quits a good job after a week because, you know, they couldn't take a break at a certain time. It's just a certain type of person.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I agree.
You're listening to the Voice of Reason on Dash Talk X. I'm sitting here with these women playing the margins, skipping through the raindrops, trying to avoid getting wet.
I always rode outside the margin and got in trouble for it, so I don't know what you're talking about playing the margin.
Somebody said, Dr. G, shame on you. Today's topic, a more in-depth look at relationship blame versus claim. Lottie says women are more accountable than men. When for the most part, even if a man doesn't have his daddy, he may have grandpa. He may have uncles. He may have hood niggas on the block that pass down personal responsibility. It's not... I'm not saying women don't get personal responsibility taught to them, but not in the same way as a man. Men are responsible for anything that goes down. It's different. I need callers to call in and tell us why it's different. The number to dial is 323-230-4610. You guys got to remember, you can't respond to everything. I got to get to these callers. You going to let me get to the callers and then I come back to you?
Can I just say one thing?
No.
One thing?
No. Say one thing one more time, because you was about to.
One thing?
No. God damn it. No. Shit. Callers, you're on the line. What's your name and where you calling from?
Hello?
Hell is low. Welcome to the show, man.
Oh. Yeah, etymology, I see. But, this is Jeremy from Dallas, Texas.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I got my son right now. My bad. But
you being a dad.
Women
cool.
are... Women
Oh,
are
my
socialized. But men aren't socialized like women are, because first of all, you being raised by a woman 9 out of 10 times, so it's automatically going to be in her favor as it pertains to a boy dating a girl or how he treats her. The mama is the standard. So I mean, so you can't say that, oh well, they're socialized the same. No, because us as men, we only know how to manipulate from being in the world and being in the streets or being, out, but it's not at home. But y'all socializing starts at home. Women socialize starts at home. And I read this book called The Way of the Superior Man, and dude speaks on the dynamics between the polarity between feminine and masculine energy, and women's energy is naturally chaos. Not saying that is bad, but in the fact of women change, they're the encompassing of the universe. So it's like, okay, they might be over here 1 minute and over there the next minute. Whereas men, we're straightforward. We shoot straight to it. We straight to it. You know, so. Yeah,
hey, listen, let me just say this real quick. Dr. G's...
Straight to it sometimes.
Let me just say this. Dr. G's education is frowning upon you.
Yeah, because y'all don't shoot straight.
She's very judgmental.
I mean, the majority of the time, a man lies more through his actions more than his words. Women, y'all lie through y'all words. Men, we lie through our actions. We might take you out on a date, in hopes that maybe we could get some pussy. But y'all are say a whole bunch of things that a dude want to hear just so y'all can get what y'all want out of him. All
right. I appreciate that information. Thank you for calling. If you want to call in and bring your city into the building, the number to dial is 323-230-4610. Welcome to the Voice of Reason. We're having a great show tonight. Claim versus blame. True or false? An abuser has a great capacity for self-deception. Listen very carefully. He projects the blame for his relationship difficulties onto his partner. He will get angry if only she would not nag him so much. He would not lie if she didn't get upset. Now, the reason why I read that, this is a perfect example of how women are not socialized to be accountable. Everything in this fucking sentence was pointed at the man being an abuser. It didn't say he or she, right? It said an abuser has a great capacity for self-deception. He projects the blame for his relationship difficulties onto his partner. See, you guys remember the last show I had, and I talked about how breaking up for women, this is ending marriages, this is ending dating situations, is a tool for empowerment. The man is always the abuser. When was the last time you heard a woman being an abuser in this context? Right? Someone not, like this right here. An abuser has a great capacity for self-deception. You mean tell me there's no women out there like that?
Right.
Well, this whole article is written for women to empower their victimhood mentality. Because there's no balance in the way it's written. It's written as if men facilitate this to women, these behaviors to women, more so than not. That goes back to my point about the 50-50. Speak to me about this, Dr. G.
Okay, so we know historically things like the law of the rule of thumb and where that came from, that a man could beat his wife with anything smaller than the size of his thumb. Mm-hmm. So traditionally, men were abusive, and it was actually socially accepted for men to be abusive. Women were property. They didn't have rights. The women's right to vote and all of that kind of stuff came secondary. Also, historically in literature, the word he or him has been used to encompass both men and women. Right. So a lot of things are written to where it will say he. And then especially like in the abusive, when we're talking about things like that, a lot of things will refer more towards men. But if you ask any current police officer, the laws are changing. Like the narrative is changing. They're getting more into the idea that men can be raped and men can be physically and emotionally abused. And officers, when they go to the house, they're not looking for the guy. They're like, who is the aggressor, male or female? I have a friend that's a sheriff, and she'll tell you, if she gets called on a DV case, somebody's going to jail. She don't care if it's him or her. And so, like, that article, although it may be written that way, it doesn't mean that it's intended to be empowering a woman's victimhood. It's just some of it has to do with the history of how things are actually written.
Okay.
That's why you
Dr.
here.
G is in the building.
That's why you here, young G. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Glenna Anderson. What is your website, young ladies?
www.drglenna.com, drglenna.com.
Hey, I love it. We got to start taking some of these women to jail.
For raping y'all.
Right. How of everything that I said, that's what you came out with?
For raping y'all.
You a whole mess.
He want to put us in jail.
Send them. Damn it. I'm so glad old girl got her kids taken.
But no, I am an advocate. I'm not trying to send people to jail just randomly, but I am an advocate. If you're the aggressor, then you got to have some accountability for your actions.
You need to go to jail if you're the aggressor.
I love it. Callers, you're on the line. Welcome to the Voice of Reason. Today's topic, relationship blame versus claim. Caller, you're on the line. What's your name? Where you calling from? Speak on it.
Hey, this is calling from Houston, Texas.
First off, where's she at? Where's she at? Because you mumbling. Where is she in the house?
I got the Bluetooth in. I thought you could hear me.
Oh, okay, because, I thought you was scared, like she was coming for you.
Nah, never that, man.
Okay, cool.
This is calling from Houston. Paper, you really can't call nobody. If you don't take care of yourself on the street, you can end up getting killed. I don't think women ever really think about, I might go out here and lose my life today. I don't think they have to deal with that ever. Or maybe if it's like a real once-in-a-lifetime situation, but every day I got to be responsible for myself and for everybody that depend on me or look up to me.
I think Peaches wants to talk to you because I think she said you're somebody she abused.
Hilarious. You stupid. No, I was saying that's what I was going to say when you wouldn't let me talk, that black men have real issues to deal with, so they have to be more accountable. But he said it for me, so it's okay.
Well, I mean, clearly.
You wouldn't let me talk.
Lottie B does not agree with you.
I know. I completely agree with him.
Which part?
I agree with him. I believe that they do have more things that they have to go through as men that I don't have to wake up and probably, unless I'm a stripper.
So you change your stance?
What I'm saying?
So men are more accountable than women?
Not more accountable. I think that they have other struggles that women don't encounter. That doesn't make you more accountable just because, you have to deal with something I don't have to deal with. Women are single mothers. Most men are not single fathers.
What?
We have the same struggles. It's just different things. We have the same struggles. You may have to go out and get worried about a cop pulling you over and taking your life, but I got to deal with raising my kids by myself. It's the same type of struggle.
It's just different by choice.
So many.
It's the consequence. It's not the struggle. I'm saying the consequence of that is not you losing your life. My consequence could end up with me dead, and I don't think you have to ever really. Like, that means there's no safety net for me. There's no room for error. I gotta be on top of mine.
Wow.
And I don't think you ever have to face that.
Hey, man, let me do this, bro. Let me do this. I got to go. So many callers to get in here.
Right,
Thank you for that, man. I appreciate it. Thank you for shutting Lottie down. Go ahead, Dr.
Thank you.
Okay, that's fine.
I was just going to say, like, what he said just spoke to what I was saying earlier in terms of it's a certain type of person. Because it's a gang of people sitting in jail. It's still no sense of accountability. Like, you committed the crime, you made the choice, knowing that there was a great consequence, and you still chose that, and it's still, it ain't my fault, they out to get me. Like, well, no, I'm not. We all know that the justice system, that there's a lot of corruption, so I'm not gonna skirt around that. But I'm talking about people who actually did things wrong, didn't make healthy choices for themselves, and still don't take accountability. So what he's saying, the type of person that he is the type of person that weighs his consequences, weighs his choices, and chooses accordingly.
That was very flowery.
You know what? First he wouldn't let me say it, and now it's flowery.
I mean, just all flowery and cute.
We are.
It's true. I mean, that man takes accountability for his actions. Certain type of person.
Mm-hmm.
He ain't trying to go to jail.
Right.
Yeah. Wow. You guys scare me.
But I have a question. So, I mean, when you say accountability, don't you have to mean accountability on every level? You just can't be like, okay, I'm only going to make sure I don't die. Like, you have to have a whole level of success. You know what I'm saying? They got to go across the board. You know what I mean?
Make sure that I ain't going to die.
Right. Because some people could just,
important.
No, because some people could just be like, you know what I'm saying? Yo, that's their focus. So I want to make sure I got to be in these streets. I'm going to take care of this, but am I taking care of my kids? Am I taking care of my spirituality? Am I taking care of this situation? No, I'm just making, not that he's doing that, and I'm not saying, I'm not putting that on him. I'm just saying accountability is all across the board. That's not just in one area of your life.
Right. There's a great article written by our good friend Tone Talks, right, that just speaks to why men have to be more accountable.
Of course, Tone Talks has an article about it.
It's on your it's on yourweb.com. Are African American men, incarcerated? And this is just when I read this article, I was like, what in the fuck is going on? Mm-hmm. Are more African American men incarcerated than all women are imprisoned globally?
I'm sure there is. Mm-hmm. I believe that.
There's more of us in jail than all women imprisoned globally.
That's because they fear black men. They want to lock you up.
Okay, you're about to make my point for me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But keep going. I really like it. Say more.
Well, they want to lock you up. They have more fear of what a black man can do, because if a black man takes ownership and leadership of his life, his community, his people, it's going to be dangerous.
For every 100,000 black men, 10% are incarcerated. It's like 200 or 300 for black women. It's 10 fucking thousand per 100,000 for black men.
But men are putting down more licks than women. I mean, there's some women that come together and say, we finna get down and do X, Y, Z. But there's more dudes robbing banks, doing whatever they do, gang banging, line up the girl gang members and line up the men. I'm sure that there's more men standing there like, what set they from and what it do. Now, all I'm saying is there's more men putting themselves out there. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying that that's good or bad, because you know me, I'm an advocate for the men. You know, I feel like some of these women, they have babies, they say they don't know who the daddy is. I think that's shameful. Because at the end of the day, you letting somebody come inside of you and you don't know who it is, and you just said, oh, it's one of y'all. You having a baby shower, everybody's family's there. You didn't have 2 baby showers because you got everybody thinking you pregnant by them. That's a damn shame. Yeah, because you got 2 different dudes thinking they finna have a baby. So you have one baby shower on one side of town. You have another baby shower on another side of town. You getting gifts.
And you know what it is.
And that's sad.
Somebody in the chat room said something very powerful.
What?
Empire Foundation says, you want an accountable man?
Raise one.
Raise one.
And I did. Thank you, Jesus.
That's right. That's real.
You're on the line. What's your name and where you calling from? Welcome to the Voice of Reason.
Hey, what's up, Zoe?
What's up? Who this? Who?
Hey, I'm actually calling from the penitentiary. I'm listening to the show.
Yeah,
absolutely. I'm live and direct.
That's right.
I'm listening to the show, and accountability. It's like, on the relationship tip, I even know this, and I ain't in a relationship right now. A man ain't getting away with nothing. So overall, as a man, especially as a black man, it's accountability all up and down the line. And Lottie, I just got to say, you on some bullshit.
Why am I on some bullshit?
Because he said so, goddammit.
No, I will.
Because he got balls.
Yeah, why? Yeah, because he got balls.
No, go ahead, brother. Finish your thought, man. I know you only got a short amount of time.
No, actually, I'm posted. I watch it all day, every day.
Oh, well, let's get it cracking then.
Right.
That's right.
On the real. But yeah, no, for real, though. It's accountability all up and down the line for men. And I just feel like Lottie was doing what a lot of women do. Not all, some but all.
Yep.
What a lot of women do is make excuses and turn tables instead of dealing with the issue at hand. And that's my 2 cents.
Hey, man, I appreciate it, man. Thanks for calling in, man. Stay down.
You must be in feds, huh?
Nah, I'm in the state penitentiary.
They let y'all talk
cell
now?
phones is everywhere.
Okay.
They got cell phones everywhere. They texting.
Hey, good looking homeboy.
They online.
I'm just wondering.
All right, y'all stay up. Much love.
Much love.
I wonder if any female inmates are going to call in. Caller, you're on the line.
You know
what?
Civil Brand, give us a shout out.
Yeah, girl, call on in.
Caller.
Hello?
Hell is low.
Hello?
Welcome to the show. Who is this?
This is Howard.
Who?
Howard.
Hey, Howard.
What up, Howard?
Hi, Howard.
How you doing? I'm calling from Rochester, New York.
All right, so speak on it.
Basically, I was just trying to figure out what was going on in regards to what was being said, and it's just it was really crazy as far as how we start blaming people, and then as far as everything that's going on, we don't think about what's going on in society issues. Society issues is going to automatically say, hey, this woman is going to have children. So we're going to automatically say, hey, you know what? We're going to be on this side. We're going to follow her side. And if she's going to say what is going on, then we're going to allow that to happen. And when that happens, everyone gets all crazy. Like, wait a minute. I have a son. I have a child. You know, my child is going to grow up. And you know what? That's okay as long as I'm benefiting. And as long as you're going to benefit from it, you're not going to see it if you're going to be about personal self. If you're personal, if your self is saying, hey, well, you know what? This is how I'm going to operate, and this is how I'm going to benefit from everything, well, then you know what? That's what's going to be the case. But the problem is that if you have sons, then they're not going to benefit from what you're benefiting from, and they're going to go based on what they're not getting, and then you're going to try to figure out, well, why are they operating how I'm operating? And like, there's two different entities, and that's how I feel about, you know, what's really going on. And I'm like, that's crazy. All the things you're saying, like, society is going to automatically gear towards the women because they give life.
Okay.
And when they give life, there's no in between. Like,
right.
oh, okay, well, cool. We can operate, but that's not fair for everyone else because we're only operating on one side.
All right, I got to jump in and stop your filibuster here. Thank you. We appreciate the call. We appreciate the insight. Good looking, man. Thanks for calling in.
No doubt.
I don't really know what he said.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I don't know if he was talking about like benefits, like custody and stuff like that. I'm not
I think
sure.
it was custody.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to see women lose a little more in court. We need to get those numbers up. Caller, you're on the line. What's your name and where you calling from?
What's happening? It's Zoe from Sheboygan, man.
Zoe from Sheboygan. What up, man?
What it do? Hey, man, I just want to chime in real quick and tell y'all girls that can't claim to go get y'all baby, the LGBT community, because they act just like y'all.
Damn, Zoe.
Hey, I'm out, Zoe. Good looking, man.
Zoe. All right.
Drops mic.
All right, man. Okay. Shots fired.
Okay. Well.
Yeah, who the shots fired at?
And he gone for real.
Yeah, this nigga hung up. Okay, cool. Caller, we can't even get a follow-up question to see what he meant.
Yeah, what'd you mean?
Caller, you're on the line. What's your name and where you calling from?
Hey, Zoe.
Hey, what up? Who's this?
It's Horace from Atlanta.
Oh, shit. We got to argue.
Yeah. Hey, ladies.
Hey, Taurus girl.
I have a couple of questions for you.
I bet you do, goddammit.
Yeah. Okay, but I would like to start off with this. What can a black woman do right?
Nothing. Because that's where you. First off, that's where you coming. That's it. That's where your punk ass is
if I
coming.
could jump through this damn phone and knock you out. I can't.
Goddamn obvious ass.
You're gonna have to excuse my tone and my delivery.
No, let me just say this. Sisters do a lot of things right.
Okay, so
except take ownership for the shit you do wrong. God damn it.
He was not getting off that Taurus. I knew not getting off.
I knew
the fuck you think this is?
What are the stats? What are the stats on the number of women that have men in child support court? What are we?
She about to go there?
Yeah, she's about to go there.
No. Let's just we gonna let Dr. G handle you.
Ooh, I don't know them stats. Like, you'd have to call the Elite from LA.
Where's Tom Talk?
I don't know them stats.
No, but see, okay, we're not doing LA because LA is a bubble, right?
I was just saying I don't know the statistics offhand. That's what I meant.
Okay, but wait.
Let me ask you. Let me ask you this really quickly.
Yes,
Let me ask
yes,
you. Are you trying to intimate that more women don't take men to child support than do?
Absolutely.
Taurus, stop, Taurus.
I've got friends.
It's a job for some bitches.
And we're and none of us are
hilarious. Taurus,
no,
Taurus, no.
I see her point.
At all, because we have joint custody, both physical and custodial custody of our child. So there is no child support with us. When on the days that she's with him, he is to provide food, clothing, shelter. On the days that she's with me, I am to provide food, clothing, shelter. School is her drop off, and the stuff, and it works.
Is this your situation?
4 years. No, but I'm just saying.
You just saying what? That your situation is.
She's saying there's a lot of women with that situation.
But do you think that outnumbers that? Hey, if you don't bring your tone down, I see.
Hilarious.
You done got her excited.
God damn it! If you don't bring the tone down, woman, bring it down.
I apologize for that.
Okay, good. I like it when you submit.
So now I'm back to my passion. Now wait a minute. You got to hold up. You got
hilarious.
Because
said I was reaching into that
in the same category as that little girl you're dealing with. Because that's the difference, though. And if you men can't recognize the difference between a child, a little girl,
tone and delivery. It's a lot of old girls out here.
I've already apologized for my tone and delivery.
Well, then you're going to have to break. You got to change it. You can't keep apologize and keep it the same way. We're talking about accountability, goddammit.
Taurus, go.
That's where
one deep breath.
If you knew a woman, you wouldn't have to worry about the shit. But you're dealing with these little girls.
Taurus.
Address that, and you take ownership of that.
Taurus just said, that's what I was saying. It's a certain type of person that doesn't take accountability for their actions.
Whether male or female.
Male or female.
Taurus, you can't talk. Taurus, you can't talk while we talking.
I don't want your blood pressure up, girl.
Jesus.
You don't got it. Look, wait a minute. Hold on. First of all, we don't have 3 shows. 2 in this mansion series, though. If I cannot be there,
you don't like the mansions? You don't like the mansion series? You don't like it? You know good and goddamn well you love the mansion series, girl. That's why you're listening to it.
No, actually, they're really good, to be honest with you. Because I'm going to tell you, Corey laid it down on the last one.
Oh,
I like when he said, let me tell you what I like when he said. When he came back, and it was towards the end of the show, when he said, when you can walk in and tell your woman, I've been with this chick over here, but I love you and I'm here with you. But I just left her and she was good, but I'm here with you. I think that's the most honest thing that you can do and the most freeing thing.
Taurus, I have one.
It is free.
Taurus.
It is free. Because he's going to be free after he make that statement.
Taurus from Atlanta. Taurus from Atlanta. Taurus from Atlanta. I have to say one thing to you right now.
What?
I must strip you from phone call privileges.
Oh, hell no. Don't do that.
You must be stripped of all phone call privileges.
She's like the Malcolm X.
Thank you.
Do it like
We appreciate you, babe. We gotta go. We got to go, goddammit.
No, you don't. Hold on.
The next time I come to Atlanta, I'm gonna come down there and tame that ass. Because that's what you need, some ass taming.
Taurus.
Now, thank you. I appreciate it. We got to go, goddammit. We got to go.
Breathe in.
I'm gonna get you.
And
breathe
sing.
out. And sing.
You know what? Deep breath.
That's who she is. Stripped of all phone privileges. Caller, you're on the line. What's your name and where you calling from? Welcome to the Voice of Reason.
Hey, man, I'm back, man. This is my bad. I left y'all hanging. I wanted to explain the LGBT connection with the women.
Yes. Yeah, please share.
10 seconds, goddammit.
So the women don't claim, the LGBT community don't claim. The women are all accepting with anything that goes inside their community. The LGBT, no matter what you are, as long as you're gay, you're accepted. You could be whatever. So those are the things that they have in common. They also, if you ever were to challenge them or to say they were wrong in something, they immediately take a victim position, and they don't like to claim responsibility for what they do. And that's all I have to say, Zoe.
All right, thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Yep.
Caller, you're on the line. What's your name and where you calling from? The phone lines are lit tonight. Caller. What's your name and where you calling from? You got to turn your life down.
Denzel from Jacksonville, my man.
Denzel from Jacksonville. What's up? No. What?
Denzel.
Stop flirting, nigga. You in enough trouble.
Hi, Denzel.
Go ahead, Denzel. What's the deal?
How y'all doing?
Hey.
Denzel, I watch your show on YouTube all the time, my man. I want to say I appreciate all that you do.
Thank you, brother.
But in regards to what you're saying, it's 100% true. It's just like the black struggle that we deal with. We can only blame the white man for so much because we ourselves are perpetuating a lot of the things that they're saying that, you know, that we're complaining about. Same thing about the women. The women cannot continue to blame us for things that they themselves are perpetuating themselves.
Thank you for the call, brother. Thank you for bringing some fucking sense into this conversation. The voice of reason is on fire.
Man, always.
It's just on fire. It's just on complete fire. That's why we have the red light on. It's the red light special tonight.
Oh, shit.
Is that why?
Get ready. Sorry. We got Dr. Glenda in the building. We got motherfucking Peaches in the building.
What up, y'all?
We got motherfucking Lottie B in the building. Hey. I love Lottie being contentious. She's starting to open up. I love it. And then we have Keeping It Real with Mimi in the building.
What's up?
The phone lines are open. Tone Talks is trying to get in. I don't know why he don't call when there ain't no lines popping.
Yeah,
hopefully that's him. Caller, you're on the line. What's your name and where you calling from? Hello.
What up?
Aw, shit.
It's Tone Talk.
Here we go. Here, let me just turn the music off.
Tone T.
Oh, a lot of stuff is in there. Hold on. You know, I'm in that. I'm doing that show, Brady Brown. I'll be in the studio on Friday.
Wait. Tone. I'm going to need you to take us off speakerphone, brother. We got to be able to hear you.
Oh, no, you in my headset. You ain't on speakers.
Okay, but I needed to be clear, because if you're going to drop some information, this shit got to be motherfucking crystal clear so these niggas can't make no motherfucking excuses and try to move up out of this shit. You hear the dick?
You hear me better?
Yeah, let's go, man.
Clear.
We hear you.
All right, yeah. I don't know. I'm taking in the information, and I don't know the information on child support. You know, you had the young lady call earlier, talk about little girls, but like the communication was like on a little girl level.
I know.
And it's like nobody really wants to tell her. So we have a whole issue where women to women, y'all not checking women and telling them you the little girl in the room.
Ooh.
Like, and I'm just saying, like, that conversation, if that's what you have at home, if that's what you have on the radio, I can only imagine what you have at home.
Wow.
You know she calling back, right? Okay, cool.
Oh,
just go ahead, finish.
I mean, I come back to it, and maybe you said that there was a lot of people that like men that, probably do bank robberies and bang on the set. What we're talking about when we say, between 8,000, 10,000 per 100,000 is something we've never seen in any first world society.
Okay.
And so, black women are at 200 per 100,000. Mm-hmm. And that isn't explained away by just like bank robberies. And I'm not saying you're just saying that. It's not explained by anything other than this group is meant to fail.
Right.
So, I just believe that, but I don't think we really digest what that means in terms of. I don't think we really digest what that means in terms of opportunity and advantage, and how we all try to manipulate that. So when I say that, I mean highest incarceration rate. Said this on the show before that we saw prior was 800 per 100,000 for South Africans during apartheid. That's 0.8.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
For black males during apartheid. Black men are at anywhere between 7 and 10% because they put a lot of them on anklets now, and then just letting them out. And I'm saying what we see is that comes straight out of the 13th Amendment and a transition from slavery into a new kind of form of slavery through incarceration.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that what's happening is we created femininity and we told women that you're more vulnerable than men, but you're more vulnerable than white men. You're not more vulnerable than black men. When you add blackness and gender, it does not create a status of double minority for black women. It actually exaggerates the impact on black males. That's just what the data holds. But we haven't built that into our social relationships. So in the end,
what?
No.
When you add blackness and maleness, what happens is that group suffers the worst kind of. I just told you the data on incarceration alone. We can go to unemployment. We can go to anything. But and I'm not even saying we should do that. We should just talk about being black. But what we see in this society is we want to create a vulnerability regardless of the data. So I want to be a black woman, and I want to say I got to struggle too. Well, then tell me what that is. Do you die more than me? Because that's the only thing you could do worse. And I just feel like we don't understand what 8 to 10,000 per 100,000 actually means in terms of community, in terms of family, and then we all play into it because everybody dates somebody who sells something. Come on, crooked selling TVs, cocaine, weed, and then we say, well, he made the choice. We built a system where that was the play. That was how you got into the game. And I'm just coming back to the mainstay of like kind of the topic, and these men are not in jail because they did more crimes. They're in jail because we decided that they're more criminal. Let me explain. The sentence for a black male is easily anywhere between several hundred to 1,000 times longer than compared to a white woman. And just about the same as a black woman. When you go to county jail, Lisa Ling did a special from CNN. I think I sent it to you before, though. They got like the only facility that got rehab and like learning centers is the women. The men's side is just straight up like, like jungle.
Jungle.
I'm just coming back to it, and I think we got to get honest about what they did here because it's so insidious. And I'm not blaming black women because I don't think black women created it. But where I do think is a problem, I don't think that we really understand the gravity of what they did here. And as a result, we're not dealing with this socially in our exchanges. So we come back to like child support. The young lady called in with the child support. She talked about it like it's just fair out here. Everybody got the same level of friends, and that's 1965. Or somebody will bring up like black women were treated wrong during civil rights. Like it's 2018. Like the fact that black women couldn't speak at the civil rights movement doesn't reflect on today whether you get to speak more than me. I mean, you guys know you got a show, and she just talked over you like it was her show.
Tell her.
Didn't we just hear that?
Talk to her, man.
I'm not going to, I got to use that show. But I'm going to be in. I just feel like one thing I respect about your crew there, one thing I respect about the women you got is that they're open ears. Even I respect how y'all just let me talk right now. Nobody said nothing over me. But we got to be open to understanding this society has made a specific decision to attack our families through our men. But they're trying to attack all of our families. I just leave it at that.
Well, that's why we did our level best to get Tone Talks in here to set shit straight.
Anyway,
I'm just saying. You got something to say, Dr. Glenna?
I have more of a question.
Okay. You wanted to question Tone?
No. I mean, you can
call back Tone. The number to dial is 323-230-4610.
But just legit question, because everything that he was saying was proving a point more towards like the socioeconomical factors. You know what I mean? And like the like institutional racism, and I don't disagree with him at all. You know what I mean? That there's a lot of things that are set up that are attack black males and attack black family, and I appreciate him even specifying that like. He wasn't putting the onus on black women. He was just making a statement and just kind of saying,
clear.
Yeah. So I can appreciate that. But just in terms of like this is a legit question. Like, I'm not one inside right. But just like legit, like in terms of accountability and victimhood, like, so back to individual accountability. Like, it's like we know all of that is the case. But, and I'm asking legit, are we making black men now the victim? If we say, well, we got all these things set up and we got this and this, and it's real, like there's no question about it. But if black men say like, well, I got this and it's up against me, so I'm more vulnerable than you, is that an excuse for victimhood?
Right.
And I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, he's saying
of course
blaming.
You were thinking the same thing.
I was.
In alignment with your thought process. Now, to address.
But I mean, when I say I'm asking a question, I'm not trying to be, I'm not trying to be, well, what about that? I'm not legit trying to understand where he's coming from.
So let me make the distinction. The men I know that the system is against them.
Right.
But the men I know feel more powerful than the system.
Right.
we feel like, okay, we can overcome whatever is thrown at us.
I'm gonna figure something out.
I'm gonna figure something out. It's kind of like what I tell my son. Happy birthday, kid. I tell my son this all the time. Man, it's an acronym. Manifest answers now. You're going to be hit with all types of bullshit in this life. You got to play politics on the basketball court. You got to play politics in the classroom. You're in the dig. You could be the best player on that team, but if the coach even smells like you are uncoachable, he's going to label you as, or he's going to label you one of those definitions that white supremacy has labeled black men. He's aggressive. He's uncoachable. He's this, that. So now he's got to suppress all of this shit and not be himself, yet still produce.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So again, what Tone is saying on a systemic level is that there is less pressure to do that for black women. And I'm not saying black women don't have pressure.
Have their own plight.
And they don't have their own movement, and it's a fucked up situation.
Right.
See, here's the thing, man. Diet pain is no different than pain. Both the motherfuckers hurt. But when you start looking at what black men are required to do in order to navigate this system, it's a little different than what sisters have to do.
True. But does that mean that they don't have individual accountability? Because what you just described was you as the type of man that you are accountable for your actions. You are not currently today in jail. I don't know the ins and outs of the situation, but you know what I mean. And then you're teaching your son to also like walk in that duality of like, we live in a world where it exists, but let me teach you how to make it so that you're not immediately suppressed by it and how to be aware of it and walk through it. So that's a type of man. And like that other guy that called in and said, you know, like, I don't want to go to jail, or I don't want to be wrapped up in child support and things like that. So I'm aware that it exists, but I'm going to walk in the duality of that it exists, but I don't want to be in it. So that's a type of man. So according to all the socioeconomic statistics and all of the different factors, is that an excuse to be a victim, or is it reason to say because it exists, you have to be better than that?
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
No. Let's just keep in mind what you have to be better than that actually means. We talked about it today on the Zoe What Show. In order to be successful in a system that is hell-bent on throwing you away.
Right. No question.
Let's just in order for a black man to be successful in a system that is hell-bent on throwing him away, he has to capitulate his manhood. He has to bend the knee to some degree.
He has to.
He has to.
Well, he has to.
Otherwise, it's, hey, nigga, who the fuck you think you are?
Exactly.
And it's like what I said earlier, they fear black men. So, of course, you have to do that. You have to.
Exactly.
Tone Talks is calling back. Caller, you're on the line. Caller, you're on the line.
What up, Zoe? You told me to call back.
Yeah, man. Go ahead. I didn't tell you to call back. You said, should I call back?
I was listening to the comment afterwards, and I just wanted to say, look.
No, it was a question. It wasn't a comment. It was a legit question.
It was a question.
But it's phrased, like you might not see it, but it's not an ownership. It's really a statement inside of a question. I just told you the kind of numbers that you've never seen before for a group that came out of slaves. And you said back to me, where's responsibility in that? And what I'm telling you is they created a whole other kind of insidious system to make you ask that question after that data. What I'm saying to you is that they've created a system where a group that came out of slavery less than 100 years ago through the 13th Amendment goes back to prison at a rate nobody else does for the same crimes. And I'm saying to you that you want to come back with something about accountability. Well, tell that to Philando Castile, who did everything right, had his gun and told the dude he had his gun and got shot in the car. They didn't shoot his girlfriend though. And I don't want them to shoot her. But I'm saying to you, fundamentally, I don't think we understand the war that's on us right now.
Tone.
And it's coming through the black males.
Tone.
And go ahead.
So, Tone, stay there. Don't go. I want her to be able to respond to you. You guys can go back and forth a little bit. Go ahead, Glenna.
Right. So I didn't say like, oh, well, he still needs to be accountable. My question was, knowing that that's the case, and going back to the original question at the top of the show, where we were saying, okay, are men more accountable? Are women more accountable? And I was saying, as a certain type of person, like, and the example that you gave is an example of a person that is accountable for his actions, that, you know, takes ownership. He did it the right way, and it's unfortunate what happened to him and to a lot of other people. So my question was, like, knowing that, does that give anybody an excuse to say, well, because the odds are set up against me, well, I guess I'm not going to make it? That was my question.
And what I'm saying back to you is, this is not just odds. Anytime that we do things the right way, they just move the ball. And they actually move it in y'all's favor. I don't know if y'all, that's why your number is 200 for 100,000. They basically can have you in the car and make you snitch on me. We were together, though. And I'm saying to you, I'm not saying that necessarily you created that opportunity, but I'm saying at the end of the day, what they're doing here is so insidious that it goes beyond choice and agency and individual action. This is the fundamental trap that they've decided to deal with race with, which is the destruction of black males. It's just the numbers. 1 in 5 black males didn't even work in 2016. That's not because they didn't apply. That's not, see, this is a conservative talking point. And all I'm saying back to you is that 10,000 for 100,000. I know most people, see, I'm an attorney, and I'm being honest. I had to learn the numbers because they don't teach it to us. What I'm saying to you is a normal rate of incarceration is around 100 per 100,000. We live in a society right now where more black men, out of 20 million black males, I said this on the Joe Show before, are incarcerated than all women on the planet.
Now, let her respond, and then we'll come back to you for your final thought. Go.
No, my only response is in terms of like what Zoe was saying in the example that he gave in terms of teaching his son. Like, you know, and I'm just using that because it's something that we all are here. We just talked about, like, knowing that. So Zoe doesn't go to his son and be like, you know what, there's this and there's going to say this about you, and it's insidious and it's egregious, and, you know, that's the way of the world. He says it's insidious and it's egregious, but in spite of, this is how you have to conduct yourself. And so I guess I'm looking at it from a perspective. I'm not saying that you're wrong, and I'm not disagreeing with you, and I think that the stats are, you know, it's outrageous. I agree with that. But I'm saying in terms of, like, the question of accountability, it's like we know that, and again, like the way that Zoe was raising his son is to say, in knowing that, what are we going to do?
Let me frame it differently for you then. If a woman wore a short dress to the GS and got raped outside, we would never ask that question. I'm saying to you that the question itself is so problematic, and I can't frame it no other way. We can't be victims because our own people don't want to see us as victims. We would never think to ask that woman. We shouldn't ask her to say that she's a victim. I mean, she's not a victim because she wore that dress. Fundamentally, they created a system where we don't, even black men themselves.
That's fair.
They don't really see themselves as victims.
That's fair.
So with that being said, though, then, men don't have to have that kind of accountability because they can never be victims by definition.
That's not what I said.
Okay,
that's not what I said.
What did you say?
Yeah.
Tell them again.
Again, I'm saying to you that this is a conservative talking point to deal with the victim and say, well, then you need to fix your behavior a little bit because they make it victims out. Look, I came in here in a suit and the dude grabbed my balls, Terry Crews. Like at some point we got to understand that maleness does not make you have power. What makes you have power is whiteness with wealth. And I'm saying to you, fundamentally, what has happened with black men is we can't see their weakness anymore. And ultimately, what was happening as a result is that they decided, well, if you're not going to see them as a victim until it's your son, because that's when we get all huffy. When it's our son and he didn't do nothing wrong.
Okay.
Then we understand that he's a victim.
Okay,
I'm saying to you, I'll let it go. I'm just saying to you that they are not just victims. They're created in a way where no matter, like, they're going to catch the failure. Somebody got to fail. We need this jail in Mississippi. I'm going to say one last thing, though. Article came out in Mississippi. I was interviewed for it in Huffington Post 2 years ago. The warden in Mississippi says, they're not sending me my prisoners. He said it to the editor of Huffington Post. The editor interviewed me because of my documentary. And essentially comes out that the warden was promised prisoners. Who you think he was promised? You can't promise crime. So we just don't make anything criminal that black men do. You walk too fast, you walk too slow, drop trash on the ground, and then you can pay the fine for dropping trash on the ground. Jaywalk, all of this. So it's not like these men are doing armed robbery, and we can say, well, you need to stop doing armed robbery. These men are living American lives just like everybody else. I just leave it at that.
All right, thank you, brother. I appreciate that for calling back. everybody wants something to say. Everybody has something to say, and I'm going to come to everybody. So let's get it together. Tone brings up some really strong points. I myself have a point, but I'll wait. Go ahead, Peaches.
Yes, because I've been trying to keep my mouth shut for a while now.
It's impossible.
Missed the point of Dr. Glenna's question, I think, about the victimhood. I don't know if he did or not, but what I understand the statistics, yes, and I've said it myself on the show many times, black men have way more to worry about, but I understand what she meant by victim. When do you start taking ownership for being the victim that keeps getting your ass locked up over and over and over again? There comes a time where a man has to be accountable for that too. I mean, I'm just saying.
Hold on. That's Tone already addressed that.
Careful, because I wasn't. I
That's
do.
not what he said, right? So go ahead.
I do believe.
Over here fucking up.
That there. that there are plenty of times that there. I mean, there's just. When it comes to the court system, the judicial system, I do believe that there are plenty of times where black men are unfairly targeted, are sentenced, unfairly. I mean, even black women, you know what I mean? So black men more so than black women, like there's no question about that.
Right.
But what I was saying, I'm not debating that at all. I agree with them. But what I was saying was, in terms of like what
I agree with that part. I'm just saying the victimhood.
So how we started out the conversation where it was like who takes more accountability for their actions, and specifically in relationships, and I see how Tone kind of brings in again like worldviews and how all of that impacts individuals within the context of relationships. I get that. But so what I'm saying is, in looking at, just using that as an example of how Zoe is raising his son, it's like you're not telling your son, man, look, like the odds are against you. There's this and this. These are this. They trying to throw you in jail. Like we know, like there's a school to prison pipeline. Like there's private prisons and how they're funded. We know, and there's even organs, like private selling of organs.
Will you tell them? God damn it!
All kinds of things that are stacked up against black men. There's no question about that. No question whatsoever.
I agree.
But in that, you're choosing to raise your son in a way that makes him conscious and aware of those things while still saying, this is how you conduct yourself.
I'm raising my son. Let me give you an example. I'm raising my son like the birth of hip hop, like the birth of jazz. All of that shit was born out of necessity.
Right.
It was born out of suppression.
Oppression.
Oppression. I'm basically teaching this motherfucker how to cope with the unfairness of society.
The reality of the world that we live in.
Now, peep game. You're a mental health specialist. We got to teach him how to just cope.
Right.
When he went to Auburn, they wrote an article on him because of his injury, and they called him a coper. Right? Someone who just weathers shit. You throw something at him, he weathers it. It's an injury, it's a coach, it's some politics. He weathers it. That shit can't be healthy.
Right.
You're just in perpetual weather state. So, again, what Tone is saying that is relevant, women will say, you can't put a timer on her healing. Right? Somebody went through it. You can't tell her when to get better. And you also can't say what black men go through. At some point, you got to stop playing the victim role, brother. Because at the end of the day, if the average black man, now we already know 70% of black kids born out of wedlock. So if only 30% of, less than 30% of black kids got daddies to be able to help them navigate.
Can I just clarify that I never said black men got to stop playing the victim role.
Okay.
I never said that. What I said was, how do we teach accountability? How do you operate in accountability considering all of these factors?
But I think for good black men, accountability, especially if they have sons, is built in. Because we're so we're automatically, like with my son, we're automatically like, hey, better watch out for this shit, nigga. You better hold on, nigga, because this shit lead to this shit and that shit lead to this. Nigga, I'm telling you now, I done been through this shit. You don't want to do the shit I did, because then
So
most good men are already doing that.
A certain type of man teaches it.
Right.
I just wanted to say something because I said something earlier and I think it was misunderstood. First of all, I grew up in LA, so a lot of my play brothers, friends have died by the hands of the police, by the hands of gang members, by the hands of many things. So my heart always goes out to the black man. I mean, I have so many brothers, my heart is broken to the numbers of people that I've lost personally from the struggle from a black man. When I said that, I was just speaking from that, also from that same experience. I had more homeboys that was down for the cause than I got homegirls. That's just my experience. But my homeboys was about that life. So I love my people. And so just because I mentioned that there was more men that do, that's from my experience. Most of my homeboys is with it. I don't have no homegirls talking about I'm about to lay them down. But I got homeboys that say it. But that don't mean I don't understand their struggle. I love them. They got to do what they got to do for them. There's no judgment here. I love my black men. And I just had to say that because people misunderstand what you say. And if you don't know no better, you'll believe the hype.
Right.
And I'm as real as they come. And my homies is as real as they come.
On the Mimi side of the game.
Right
Caller. You're on the line. What's your name? Where you calling from? Stop fucking up the conversation,
Gangster
Peaches.
you ever will see.
I ain't even saying shit. What you talking about?
Caller, you're on the line.
Zoe?
Yes.
Okay, it's Taurus.
I know it. I
And
know
I'm gonna
you
watch
calling
my
back.
phone and
Let's turn the
Can I
music
watch my
off.
phone and
Hold on. Let me turn the
Okay.
music off.
Take a deep breath first, Tori.
No, I got it. No, I'm tired of being a black woman being beat up on for the actions of a child that has not come into her own. Because a woman is not going to do the stuff that you men complain about. And it would be different if it wasn't all over the damn internet. You can't listen to nothing on the internet that's not downing a black woman about what she's trying to do. But let me I don't want to go there. Let's address the men and the accountability on their aspect of it. We all know that our legal system, our justice system, is an unjust system to black men. However, there are institutions in place that black men do not utilize. They don't vote. They don't know. They can't put a pact together to go and seek political solutions to their situations. And Tom will argue that to fix the whole entire situation, there's got to be some type of overhaul on our governmental services that we're receiving. Okay. But you can yell at a black woman for running to the government services. But the solution for a black man is the same thing.
You know what?
I'm going there. I'm going there. And Mimi, I'm like you. I love black men.
You trying to play her off?
This passion or whatnot. You know, I have it for them. But what I'm going to stop doing is stop making excuses.
Taurus, you got me in here rolling this piece of paper like it's a joint.
We love you, but we can't fuck with you on this second call. This second call, you just
good doctor.
You off your motherfucking man.
She need a gummy.
I love you, baby.
Taurus, I'm about to smoke this paper because you made me need some smoke.
You need some CBD.
They don't want to marry the women they impregnate.
All right,
that automatic doing the legitimization process gives you custody.
Okay, listen, baby.
You know
All
what?
right, we gotta go.
That's
I'm
not
sorry,
correct,
honey. It's all fucked up. But
Taurus,
I love
had
you.
to blow that
I love
smoke
you.
out.
I love you. It's cool, but it's all fucked up. But I love you. So
I love you too, Taurus.
just take about a week. Take about a week off and then call us. Okay, we'll be. I love you, but take a week off and we'll talk.
Taurus,
we appreciate.
I'm gonna roll up a joint and drink something for you tonight when I get home.
All right, Taurus, we gotta bounce. Holla. Glenna, what the fuck just happened?
Listen now.
We know how Taurus is. Taurus is just Taurus, a stubborn bull.
I was listening, and then it went to the black man ain't doing enough, and they can't get it together, and then the women run to the crowd. I said, wait a minute. Like, well, who don't, huh? What?
Black men don't organize.
She talking about that little hobbit she got at home.
Not a hobbit.
Yeah, the dude from Lord of the Rings.
Everybody in the chat room is typing stripped.
They done stripped her.
The power of the phone call is stripped.
I love you, Taurus. I know you're going to call back and say something else.
This shit is wow.
Taurus is about that life. You feel me?
Taurus is a thug.
Yeah, she not playing. Can you imagine on these streets if you piss her off? She about that life. She hopping out on you. What it do though?
But she feel like she might be down like 4 flat tires too.
Yeah.
I swear I hear ice clinking in a glass every time.
You know what?
Yeah. She kind of crazy, but I think she would be down like 4 flat tires.
I think so. Whoever she down with, she down like that. You feel me? She hopping out.
She will cut you.
Yeah, she'll be in the garage waiting on a nigga. In the garage, though.
Yeah, she's definitely the one to call. Like, girl, get over here.
Girl, call Taurus. They tripping? Taurus, we need you, girl. I got drinks on me.
She like, I'm on the way.
All right. Phone lines are still cracking. Let's get them in here. Callers, you're on the line. What's your name and where you calling from? Speak on it.
Oh, my name is Oye. I'm calling from Baltimore.
Oye.
I was calling because I know we keep talking about like the very like bottom tier, like the guys who are incarcerated, but like on an everyday like average male or female interaction, do y'all really believe that the accountability is a 50-50? Like honestly,
that's what they believe.
No, not all of us.
No. I think they're still playing the game like that. What y'all? I think to me, like what y'all doing is like fundamentally what the problem is. Like y'all are not even coming to grips that it might be like 80-20. Like you're not even being rational or real about it. Like y'all are still playing the game.
Let me be transparent.
Hey, hold on.
I don't have a statistic. I don't have a number. So let me say that. Like I don't have a 90-10, a 50-50. I don't have a number. Like my point was that there's a certain type of person, and I can't give you statistics on on how many it is. So let me say that.
All right, but like I feel like as far as guys, the idea of like being unaccountable is like gets whittled out in elementary school. I feel like for women, there's a grace period up to like 40 where like you can still like blame anybody else but yourself. But like guys, you almost look pathetic if you really like go around blaming everybody else. Like you're not gonna be treated like a man. Like that stuff gets riddled out like in elementary school. I remember I wasn't even that bad of a kid, but I remember like anything I did, I was in detention. Principals, I got my ass whooped. Like my sisters, like to this day, they're still like not accountable for stuff. Like they still get to blame like their boyfriend or get to blame their boss. Like I just don't see. Like I don't see you. I feel like in some cases it's like arrested development where like they don't really have to really come to grips with certain things, and it's kind of sad, but it's just real. I don't think men really have that grace period where we could just be like, oh nah, it's somebody else. Like
no, I agree with you, brother. I agree with you. Hey, and thank you for the call. We appreciate it. Right now, let me throw it to Peaches real quick because I have a question for Peaches.
Okay. Thank you for calling.
You're honest. You just wanted to.
I just said thank you.
Just
go ahead.
Do you have a word count? You have to say a certain amount of words for each show.
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right. The brother said 80-20. What do you think the split is in terms of accountability of regular dudes, not prison dudes, just regular black men?
I'd say that it is more like 70-30.
Men to women?
Yes. Only because, like Dr. Glenna so eloquently put it, men have a different, it depends on the type of person you are. I raised a son. I raised him to be accountable. You raised a son. You raised him to be accountable.
I got 2 sons.
Well, you got 2 sons. You raised all of your children to be accountable for whatever.
And my daughter.
Just like I did. But when you raise a man-child in this society, Tone is right about a lot of stuff. You do have to let them know what to look out for, but you have to let them know where to bend too. So I would say it's 70-30 only because women have way more gray areas. Like you said, we have a lot of shit to cover because we can't hurt people. Don't be cutting me off like this, the Oscar.
I'm just saying it's a little winded. Go ahead.
Well, actually, I have a son as well. I don't agree with the way that Tone feels. Because I
feels or revealed. I think
thinks revealed.
He dropped knowledge. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I mean, I raised my son to let him know that the struggles that he is going to face in this world. However, I let him know that them struggles don't define you, and we don't operate in fear. So he made a comment. Oh, the girl's in the car, so she could testify against me. Why you even got to be doing that type of criminal activity? You have a choice. Yeah, you was working. You know what I'm saying?
Did you answer the question, or you just wanted to respond?
Oh, I think it's 50-50. I already told you that.
Oh, you think it's 50-50?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
still there.
Wow. All right. Glenna?
I don't have a number. I'm very comfortable in saying I don't know enough about a certain whatever. My opinion is a certain type of person. I don't think it's a number, because if you go into a certain type of person, then it's going to be, both sides are going to be accountable. You'll get two people that'll go into an argument or a discussion and be like, you know what, I did A, B, and C, and I want to apologize for that, but I want to talk to you about such and such and such and such.
Right.
But then you go into a different type of person and they both in a room like, but you did this and I didn't do nothing.
Right.
It really depends on the type of person that you're dealing with.
Right.
That's why it's 50.
Mimi?
I don't have a number either. I believe that it might be a little higher for the women, but overall, I agree with Glenda. I believe it's the individual, how they were brought up. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But a lot of times women play games in certain types of, gray areas. But men do the same thing. But I believe that the women are a little bit higher on the blame game.
And I think it vacillates. I think it's situational. I think it vacillates. But I
Right.
think overall women trump us in most of those areas.
Mm-hmm.
This was an interesting conversation. We don't have all the answers, not even close. You have to continue this conversation in your own house. How? I need tips, Dr. G. How can you... Is it even possible to hold your partner accountable, or are there some rules of accountability that must be upheld?
Absolutely.
So can we get 3 of them real quick? Let's go.
Rules of accountability. Before you, not even before, but if you're going to call yourself pointing out somebody else, you need to be doing this. Just make sure you are willing to accept the same constructive criticism. Make sure that you're willing to be like, okay, like iron sharpens iron, right? Not I sharpen mine and not stab you with mine. It's like, listen, like you got to be able to tell me something about myself, and I go in my corner and I make some adjustments, and then I can go and I can tell you about yourself, because we're doing it in a way that it's done in love. And again, it's constructive criticism. It's not trying to tear nobody down. And we're really, really trying to build each other up so that we can move forward. But I think that's my biggest thing. Like, whatever you can give, you got to be able to take it. And do it in a loving and positive way.
Wow. I love it. I love it. I love it. God damn it. This was an amazing topic. I love the various perspectives. Again, keep this conversation going. We will be back with a group of women, these people here, Friday. Wednesday, mansions. I may bring this topic to mansions.
Okay. Do it.
So we can see what the men have to say.
They gonna blame us.
We appreciate everybody
hard.
tuning in. Thank you so much. The Zoe Williams Voice of Reason show is now a wrap. We'll see you guys on Friday.
Deuces.